Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. My name is Alex Lippic. You join us at UK Fintech Week here at the IFGS event 2024. And I'm very pleased to be joined by the CEO of Allica Bank, Richard Davies. Thank you very much for your time, Richard.
Great to be here.
So today we're going to be looking at the UK's opportunity to really become a central hub on a global scale. So with that in mind, what do you think it's necessary for the UK to do to solidify its position as a global hub?
Yeah, so I think over the last decade, the UK really has established a true leadership position in being a place to start a fintech. There's been a whole range of policy initiatives, which has then led to a whole range of founders starting fintechs in all walks of financial services life. Now, we need to continue that success in starting a fintech. But I would argue critically, we must also have a real focus on ensuring the UK is a great place to scale up fintechs, given we now do have some real success stories.
Sure.
Now, I think there's three things that involves, and it needs to be an active choice from the UK governments, regulators. So firstly, I think we should really be seeking to ensure in each of our major financial services segments, we have a really diversified set of providers that provide great outcomes for customers. If you take the example of SME lending, 60% of SME finance last year was provided outside of the major 5 banks. We should want that in every single key product and service in our economy. Secondly, we should really care about having fintechs be our future FTSE 100 listed companies in the UK. And finally, we should want those fintechs to be true global champions for the UK. There's always been this history over the last 100+ years of people like HSBC and Standard Chartered being major exporters of financial services to the UK. We must want our scale-up fintechs to be that also.
Really insightful, thank you, Richard. You mentioned the role of the UK government. Every organisation, every industry requires a support network of some sort. So what, in your opinion, are the sort of resources and support that the UK requires from the government in order to ensure that success that you mentioned?
I mean, first of all, you have to credit that last 10 years' success to a decent degree to government and regulatory action. So starting in 2013 with the new authorization regime for challenger banks that led to Oak North, Monzo, Starling, Allica. You look at open banking in 2017-18. You look at slightly more niche, but the commercial credit data sharing standards in 2017. Lots of things that added up to where we are today. I'm part of the Unicorn Council that was newly formed and met yesterday with the Economic Secretary to the Treasury. We published a list of policy asks to help support the UK's fintech ecosystem. That included things like consolidating regulatory priorities and focus, restoring entrepreneurs relief, and abolishing stamp duty on UK shares sales and purchases. Beyond that, I'd add 3 specific asks actually. Firstly, I think it's absolutely critical for SME lending. We don't score a major own goal with the implementation of the Basel III standards, which the Bank of England is shortly going to publish on.
Right.
That could really damage if it's done in the wrong way.
Sure.
Secondly, I really think it's time to lift the financial services compensation scheme threshold. Currently £85,000 of deposit insurance. It's not been reviewed since 2010.
Right.
I think it should match the US at 250k, which would really help, particularly for SMEs, confidence in having challenger banks as the primary option for their banking. And thirdly, probably more broadly, I think there needs to be a real focus on widening market access for UK fintechs. UK compared to US or China is a very small market.
Right.
And so reciprocal access, similar to passporting there was pre-Brexit into Europe, can really help to widen that access. You look at, say, Revolut's success in Europe, I'm not sure that would have happened if than being the sort of current market access state.
Yeah.
So I think widening market size is really important.
Sure.
Overall, I come back to this theme of there's a real need for whichever government is in power in 2025 to have a strong, unwavering commitment to ensuring UK fintech really scales up.
Richard, thank you very much. All very insightful, very interesting, and we'll see how things develop, and it's something to look forward to in the future. But thank you very much for your time. I know you've got a busy event to get to now and some talks coming up, so appreciate your time.
Pleasure, thank you.
Thank you, Richard.